So we are, just a reminder, we are bumping back a test date. The ratios, rates, and percents test date is being bumped back to Friday. Friday, you will also have your geometry test on formula. STAR lessons are due, and we will do a note check. Make sure if you need to write stuff down, that's up on the board. You write it down of what's expected for this week. Get it? Got it? Also, I sent your parents a message of the board so they would know. Get it? Got it? All right. We are adding one more day to equations and expressions. You took this test yesterday. Okay? Either you got it or you didn't. And a lot of the reason why, if you did not get it, is I know you did not study. Get it? Got it? Get it? Got it? Okay. Because a lot of this was keywords and process of elimination. So before we begin number 1, we're going to write down some notes that we're going to keep referring back to. So I do. So shaded arrows represent the variable. Also, we could do process of elimination off of open dot or closed dot. Remember, open dot is talking about less than or greater than. And then closed dot is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Now, before we move on from that closed dot, there's also 2 other keywords that match up with a closed dot. 2 other keywords that match up with a closed what? And it deals with the word at in the beginning.
At most and at least.
Now, where do we put, which one is less than or equal to?
At most.
Because at means we switch our thinking around, okay? And then greater than or equal to would be at
Least.
And a lot of us got these questions wrong because of those key words, okay? You got number 2 wrong just because of that key word right there, at least. If you saw at least and it's asking you to recognize an inequality that represents with that statement at least, you should know at least means greater or equal. Greater or equal, okay? At least means greater or equal. Those are the kind of things that I know the reason why you bombed this test is because you did not what?
Study.
Okay, so let's do a quick reminder on 1. We are first marking the shaded arrows as our variable x. How did I know it was x as my variable? Well, I look. It says which option best shows x is greater or equal to negative 17. Now, a lot of you are like, Miss Jones, how do you know it's a greater than sign, a greater than or equal to sign? Because can we go based off of the alligator mouth here? No. That's why I'm trying to tell you inequalities do not come from alligator mouths. They come from a number. And this one, this inequality is pointing to what direction? Which way is that pointing to? If I drew an arrow out of this, it's pointing to the what?
Right.
Which way is that pointing to?
Left. Right. Right. I'm sorry. People say.
You need to look. and tell me what that is pointing to. That's pointing to the, everybody on top of your paper, and I suggest you do this on your state test on your scratch paper. Every single piece of scratch paper you get, you need to write and which way is that inequality pointing to? The what? That represents a what sign? If I write this inequality, that's less or equal. Which way is it pointing to if I'm making an arrow? Left. And it represents less. So if I look at this symbol here, this equality symbol, I know it's dealing with something equal to, but what is it saying X has to be? Greater than or
Equal to.
because that symbol is pointing to the, there we go. Ah! All right, so X has got to be greater or equal to negative 17. Because it says greater or equal, process of elimination, what can I get rid of right now? A and what? Which one is showing X is going to be greater or equal to negative 17? D. Because X has got to be going to the right because X is greater. Get it? Got it? The reason why people missed this one was just because of that keyword right there, at least. What does at least mean? And what's the symbol that shows greater than or equal to? Write down the inequality that's shown. Okay? I know my X is going on, and then I have 100 and, don't say and, 140. X is going to the
Left, right, left. Go to the left. Left.
raise your hand when you know which directions it's going to. Figure out your way of right and left right now. X is on what side of 140?
Left.
Is it a closed dot?
No.
Do I put a line underneath?
No.
What sign is that? Pointing to the left. So it's, what real world situation is saying X is going to be less than 140, or it could say 140 is going to be greater than X. Yes, ma'am.
On number one, I picked B because, like, I keep thinking since, like, the sign is, like, pointing to, like, the left, that means, like, right here should point to the left, too. But I keep getting mixed up with that.
Okay, so look at this. X is saying it's going to be what?
Greater than.
Which one shows X on the greater side, going to a positive side, going to the right?
D. Oh, I get it now.
There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So when we look at 3, our X is on the left of 140. 140 is on the,
Left.
our X is on the left. 140 is on the right. X is on the left, so it's less than 100. 140 is on the right, so it's greater than X. Get it? Got it? What is the solution of the inequality 7n is greater than 91? This is saying 7n is greater than 91. So whatever we plug in here, once you solve it, it has to be greater than 91. Well, if I do A, 7 times 11 is 77. Is 77 going to be greater than 91?
No, it's less than.
No. It's less than. Looking at B, 7 times 12. What do you get?
84.
Is that going to be greater than 91? No. If I do 7 times 13, is that going to be?
It's equal. 91.
So it's equal. It's not greater, so no. And then 7 times 14,
Yes.
what do you get?
You get
98.
Yeah, 98.
And is that greater than 91?
Yes.
What I did, I put 91 divided by 7 and it was 13, and I knew it wasn't gonna be 13, so I did the number above it.
All right. Classity class.
Yes. Yes.
Looking at 5. Again, it's something that's with keywords. Alex pays a monthly fee for F for Netflix account. Which equation represents the cost C of the Alex Netflix account for 12 months? Every month I pay $12 for my Netflix account. Every month. How much did I pay in January?
12.
That's the fee I paid. February,
12.
March,
12.
April.
12.
Okay. I could keep on adding those up until I find my total cost, right? So C has got to represent your total cost. Does it have C represented as the total cost every single time?
Yes.
Okay. But what involves total? Let me ask that. What involves total? Or
Addition.
C with multiplication and addition has to be after the equal, only with multiplication and so what can I get rid of because it's saying we're equaling a total, not splitting a total, not taking away from a total. What can I get rid of? What can I get rid of that's saying my total cost? I'm equaling my total cost. I can get rid of B because it's taking it would be representing taking away from the total. Are we taking away from the total?
No.
A, am I splitting the total?
No.
Now I need to determine what am I doing when I have a monthly fee for 12 months. I have a $12 fee. I have an $11.99 fee every single month. $11.99 plus $11.99 plus $11.99 plus $11.99 plus $11.99 plus 11. Come on, tell me what I'm doing there.
Multiply.
It's repeated addition, which is multiplication. So $11.99 times my monthly fee, which is $12.
$12 a month.
I think I said that wrong. I did. Every month that we have times my monthly fee, which is $11.99, will equal how much I pay in one whole what? Year. My total cost. So my cost is talking about my total, and we know when we're trying to equal a total cost, that's multiplication or addition. That's multiplication or addition if we're trying to equal a total cost. If I'm talking about a monthly fee that I charge every single month, it's the same fee every single month. Now I'm leaning more towards which one? Multiplication, because it says it's a monthly fee. Which one is saying 12 months times my fee would equal my total cost? Which one is showing multiplication?
C.
I do. Don't write the S right here. Do not write the S right here. Get it? Got it? I'm going to write down a bunch of times to look back at the notes from number 6. Look back at the notes from number what? You need to memorize 3 things about problems like number 6. First thing you need to realize is matchy-matchy is only for addition and subtraction. Matchy-matchy is only for addition and subtraction. Get it? Got it?
Good.
Also, distributive property. The number on the outside is multiplied to each number in the parentheses. And then put a 1 in front of the variable if needed. So before it says consider the expression, when they're telling you to consider the expression, you probably need to simplify by playing matchy. Because is there any parentheses going on here to distribute?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so matchy-matchy, 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 are all constant numbers that we can simplify. And what do we get? And then 1n plus 1n, because they were by themselves. 1n plus 1n. Okay. So that expression simplifies down to 20 plus 2n. Can I matchy-matchy anymore? No, because it's addition and they have to have the same variable or they have to be a constant to matchy-matchy. Okay? A, B, C, and D is something different. First of all, remember, 1 in front of the variables. Second of all, can I matchy-matchy inside the parentheses? No, so I have to do this property called the distributive and multiplying the number on the outside to all numbers on the inside. And when I do that, I can put these things together because we're multiplying. 5 times 4 is 5 times 1n is, and what's the sign in between? Okay, can I simplify that down anymore? No, because now we're back to adding. Let's do it again. 4 times 5 is, 4 times 1n is,
4n, and you can simplify it down to 2.
okay, can you simplify that? 20 plus 4n? They do not have the same variable. So matchy-matchy is only for addition and. So 20 plus 4n is not going to be 24n. All right, looking at C. 10 times 2. 10 times 1n. Can I matchy-matchy that? They do not have the same variable. 20 does not have an n. I cannot put it to 2 times n.
20.
2 times 1n.
2n.
What's my answer?
D.
Do not write down the S. Amazon charges $17 for each book plus a $5 flat rate for shipping. When I'm looking at that right there, it tells me exactly what I'm doing. $17 for each book. What does that mean?
It means multiplication or division.
Okay, but if it's each book, $17 for each book. There's a book, there's a book, there's a book. 17 plus 17 plus 17 plus 17 plus 17 plus 17. Multiplication is repeated addition, which is multiply. So $17 for each book. What did they tell you to represent book with? 17 times B is what? We don't know, right? And then what do we need to do? Plus 5. Which one is saying 17 times B plus 5?
A.
Process of elimination with key words, key details, however you want to say it. Yes, ma'am.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
All right, looking at evaluate the expression 36 divided by 5. 36 divided by open parentheses 5 minus 2 close parentheses to the second power times 2 minus 1. Please excuse my dear Aunt
Sally.
A lot of you forgot about this rule. And there is a reason why I wrote it like this. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse dear Miss Sally's aunts. I don't know. The reason why I switched these around is because they're in the same, and whatever one comes first from left to is how you do it. And that's why some of you got it wrong. But some of you got it wrong right off the bat because you didn't recognize that we need to do the parentheses.
First.
You went ahead and did 2 to the second. Is that 2 by that second is that second power by that 2?
No.
It's outside the parentheses. I do everything inside the parentheses. 36 divided by 3. Now it's to the second power times 2 minus 1. Then I do my exponent, and a lot of you got it wrong here because you said 3 times 3 is 6.
It's 3 times.
It's
3
9.
times. There were 3.
It's 9.
That's a very simple mistake that a lot of people do. Then we do division, then multiply because it's in the same family. A lot of people went 9 times 2 first.
You have to do it in the order you read it.
From left to. And we get 8. 36 divided by 9 times 2. We get 8 minus 1 is
7. And that's big.
Okay, my next one. What is the value of the expression 5n plus 18 minus m? 5n plus 18 minus m. So 5 times n plus 18 minus m is what that is saying, and the 18 minus m is in parentheses. It tells me what I need to plug in. So it's not matchy. It tells me what I need to plug. So 5 times what?
3.
Plus 18 minus.
6.
Now I do, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally again. 18 minus 6 is
12.
5 times 3 plus 12. I need to do multiplication
First, and you get 8 plus 12.
15 plus 12.
Oh, 15. Abigail.
15 plus 12 is.
27.
All right, you're still cool. All right, moving on. You should recognize what kind of problems they're trying to set you up for here. When we've always taught 644 words in 7 minutes, we always are thinking, oh, what could it be in 1 minute? And what operation is that dealing with when we're trying to find out how much is in 1 minute? And that's what we're going to be practicing today on that other packet is rates. How fast you're going in 1 minute. So 644 words in 7 minutes. We're obviously going to end dividing, okay? And when we divide it, we get 92. And that's how many total words we had in the minutes, and it equals our constant number. That constant number, okay? That constant number is what we multiply by when we do when in doubt table it.
Out.
Okay? When you get to 7th grade, you have this stuff. That constant number is called your proportionality. Get it? Got it? So when I'm looking at 10, which one is saying my constant number is going to be 92 to multiply by the minutes to get all your words? Which one says 92 times my minutes will equal all my words? Which one says 92 times all my minutes will equal all my words? And that's what B is saying. 92 times all my minutes equals all my words. Get it? Got it?
Good.
My next one. Does it tell me what to plug in for N?
No.
Can I do matchy?
Yes.
Can I do matchy yet?
No.
Look back at number 6 notes. What do I have to do before I can even do matchy? Distributive Is there something I need to do before I start distributing?
Put a 1 in front of the N.
There we go.
The last parenthesis.
5 times 4n is
20.
20 what?
20
Is there anything else I need to do?
5 times 2
Mm-hmm.
is 10.
Plus 3 times 2 is,
3 times 2 is 6.
and 3 times 1n is,
3. 3n.
so 2n plus 3n, I look at the sign before the number, is
23.
20n. I think I said 2. 20n plus 3n is,
3n.
and then my constant numbers that are left over, I simplify them and you get,
16.
what kind of 16?
Positive.
Is going over this helping any?
Yes. On number 11, I didn't do it right, and I went and did PEMDAS. So I went and did that. So
But they didn't give you anything to plug in. They didn't give you anything there to plug in, so you can't do PEMDAS. Got it?
I noticed that after.
Okay. My next one, if you do not know that this keyword, when it's asking for an expression, this keyword is not a less than symbol. It's in an expression. It's in a what? It's not an inequality statement. It's in an expression. It's not an inequality statement. And when it's asking for that expression, this is a
Switch phrase.
Which one?
it has 9 less than 9 minus in the beginning. Do I put 9 minus in the beginning? No, I put it at the
And
end. Then it says the sum of W and 4. Well, W and 4, it has the word and means to group. And guys, when we group, we put it in parentheses. And means to group, so we put it in parentheses. But what am I doing in that parentheses? Am I multiplying, adding, subtracting, dividing? What does it say? Sum.
Some.
What does sum mean?
Added.
So that W and that 4 is being added together, and because it said and, anytime it says and, when we're talking about two numbers or a variable, they're grouped together in the parentheses. Got it? So now that you know that, a lot of you said A was your answer. It's because you forgot less than is a switch. It goes at the end. It goes at the what? End. So what's my answer? My next one, you have to remember some things as well. First off, what's happening to 7x and 3y?
Subtraction.
What's happening to 7x and 3y? Subtracting. So I need to focus on anything that says difference. Does C and D say anything about difference?
No, that's multiplication.
And a lot of people went, but Miss Jones, these are multiplying. Yes, but there's also another word for these when it's separated by an addition or subtraction symbol. Terms. How many terms is that?
2.
So B is my answer. Okay. Here, an expression does not have an answer. It's not solved all the way through. Which expression correctly represents 7 to the third power? 7 times 7 times 7. Exponent represents repeated. Multiply. C is my answer. But if it would have asked what expressions and equations equal 7 times 7 times 7, they could have said 7 times 7 times 7 is 340.
3.
Or they could have wrote down other expressions that equaled 343. They like to do that on your STAR lessons on, I think it's mission 5 and 6. They love to do STAR lessons that have multiple answers equaling the same thing. Okay? So be careful on that.
On that one, just for fun, I did 7 times 7 times 7 and wrote that down. Just in
Good.
the answer.
Good. My next one, 4 times the product of 9 and y. And group it in parentheses. What's happening to 9 and y? What did it say to do to it? What is the word?
Product.
And that means to multiply.
Multiply.
So 9 times y is in the parentheses. 4 times does not mean a switch
Phrase.
because it's multiply. They could have wrote it anywhere. They could have wrote it either way because remember, multiplication and addition, you don't have to have it in a certain order. So it could be either one of these. And which one is saying 4 times 9 times y?
D.
D. Because remember, a number by parentheses means to multiply, and then a number by a variable means to. And y'all do a good job of remembering that because I think you learned that in 5th grade a little bit. Okay? My next one is another one that's dealing with 10 times. Which one is only saying 10 times a number? You should have been able to tell that one right off the bat. Which one says 10 times anything? A. How else could you know that one? It says your total is 23, so you could have gotten rid of C because it says your total is 10, and D because it says your total is 10. Which one is saying 10 times a number is 23? A. Okay, looking at my next one. Y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Which expression has a coefficient of 1? You had to remember that a coefficient is the number before the variable. But then when you looked at these, it says you have to simplify. You need to look back. Look at number, where was those notes at? What number was all those notes about matchy? 6. Look back at number 6. Look back at number 6 to remember those notes. Looking at A, what do I need to do? Can I matchy yet? I need to do the what? 5 times 3n is 5 times 2 plus 1. Can I simplify that anymore? Because those are constant. So 15n plus what does it simplify to?
11.
So what does that have a coefficient of?
11.
Nope.
Oh, 15.
What's 11 called?
That's the
Constant.
Write this down. Get it? Got it? Got grit.
We don't quit.
Thank you for letting me know. Looking at A, once we simplified, what was the coefficient? What was the constant? I'm not going to make you write it down, but what's the variable? What's the terms?
15 and 11.
Okay. All right, can I simplify B down? Do I need to do distributive property? Do I need to do the distributive property?
No.
All right, no. So I can just play matchy 6n plus 5n. Look at the sign before. What do we get?
11.
And then minus 1. Do I need to simplify that down anymore? Okay, so look at B. What's my coefficient?
11.
What's my constant?
1.
And a lot of people chose B as their answer because they forgot that coefficient is the number before the variable. Get it? Got it? All right. Looking at C. Do I need to fix anything? Like do the distributed property or put a 1 in front of a variable? Okay. Now I can play matchy. And that's going to be 1n plus what? What does it simplify to? 8. So what's my coefficient? What's my constant? And then what do I get as my answer? All right, we're going to keep on simplifying D because this one's a really good practice because a lot of people forget to look at the sign before the number. A lot of people forget to look at the sign before the number. Do I have any variables? What is it going to be? Just 2 what? What's that term just going to be once I simplify it? Is there any other n's to add or subtract? Nope, it's just 2 what? So many people forget to look at the sign before the number when they put it in the calculator and they want to say, it's plus 4. Is this going to equal plus 4? No. Sure it does. It says 2 plus 2.
Negative 2.
2 negative plus 2 is?
0.
My coefficient is 2. My constant is?
0.
All right. Greatest common factor. And we wrote down notes on this yesterday. Remember, greatest common factor is talking about 1 and itself, or you can remember to work from the outside in doing the rainbow, however you need to remember. And what did it ask you to find the greatest common factor of?
30 and 45.
30 and what?
45.
And when I do that, it's 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 4, no, 5 and I can stop there. 45, it's going to be 1 and 40, 5, 2 and, nope.
3 and 15, then 4, no, 5 and
So 4 and, nope. 5 and 9, 6, nope, 7, nope, 8, nope, and 9. And then we circle or highlight the ones that are in common. And what's the GCF? And yesterday you should already have that note down, but I asked you when it's saying, hey, use GCF with distributive property, use GCF with the distributive what?
Property.
Take that GCF and put it on outside of the parentheses. Take that GCF and put it outside the parentheses. And the reason why is because it said the what? That's what they're wanting you to take out side the parentheses because of the distributive property. And they might have a question like that on the state test. Is that something that's hard? No. And we went over it for 2 days at the beginning of the year. So it's just a quick reminder. You got to find the GCF and you got to take it outside the parentheses because they said distributive. Which one has 15 outside the parentheses? Okay, a lot of people got 19 wrong because you thought it was telling you to do please excuse my dear aunt. Did it tell you what A was going to be? No, it did not tell you what A was going to be. Okay? It did not tell you what A was going to be.
Do matchy matchy.
It means to do matchy matchy, so we need to look back at the rules for number. Okay? So matchy matchy. But you also got to remember to look at the sign before the
Number.
to know what to put in your calculator. 8A minus 3A. And this is where people got it wrong if you remembered matchy matchy. What is 8A minus 3A? 11 plus 4. A lot of people said that their answer was 11A plus 15 because they added 8 and 3 together. Okay, so 15A plus 15, oh my Lord, 5A plus 15, who is right?
Kristen.
Here we're plugging in, so I might have to do, please excuse my aunt,
Sally.
which one equals 56 when you plug in X as 3 and Y as 5? This says 7 times, what's my X?
Times 3.
Minus 5. Well, 21 minus 5 is going to be 16, so that's not 56. This one says 7 times 3 times 7 times 5. And what you get when you, it's all multiplication, so solve it left to 7 times 3 times 7 times 5 is 7 times 3 plus 5.
26.
And then this one has it with parentheses. I might need to solve the parentheses. Or technically I could also do what property if I wanted to. You could, okay? But you can just do parentheses first. 7 times 8 equals 56. Okay, my next one. Omar purchased J pair of jeans at the store in Asheville Mall. Jeans cost $24 each. $24 each means multiplication or, and there's going to be one more key word that tells me which to choose from that. Each is multiplication or division. Omar sent a total of 96. If we know that we are talking about a total of 96, okay, I'm looking for multiplication possibly, or what?
Division.
Okay, so if I do 24 times each, what is each representing? What letter? What did they say the jeans were? Jeans cost $24 each. 24 times?
4.
Do we know how many jeans we got?
No.
What did they tell you? What's your jeans? 24 times
J.
J equals 96. Do you see that? Do you see where they have 24 times J equals 96? A lot of people said C was their answer because you were like, oh, it's multiplication. How else can you write a multiplication sentence?
You could do
Do it backwards and be division.
What's backwards?
96.
Another word for that would be inverse operation. What's the inverse operation of multiplication?
Division.
Division.
So
So,
it would be 96 divided by J equals 24.
or 96 divided by 24 equals what?
J.
Which one's my answer? Mhm. Now this expression that I had written down was not correct because I forgot to change the answer choices. Please make sure I wrote it correctly based off of what I told you yesterday. Okay. Look at the sign before the number. And this one's going to equal 39x, right? Did I circle everything correctly?
no. You circled 6.
I thought that was, had it with the x. All right. 5x plus 2x plus 32. X would equal 39x. And then 6 plus 2 are my constant numbers. And we get 8.
And you get B.
Okay, we're going to break this down. Last one. You ready for practice? Here we go. I want to know what is my variable?
X.
What is my coefficient? What's the coefficient?
5, 2, and
Number
32.
39.
We're looking at what's simplified. Yes, it would be 5, 2, and 32, but what did it simplify?
39.
39.
And then, what's my constant number?
6 and 2.
From before, it would be 6 and 2, but now what is it?
8. Terms.
Who are we having to say stop? Hocus pocus.
And then our terms would be 39x and 8.
How many is that?
2.
And what happened to those terms?
They get added.
They were added. What's the word for that? Addition. Or sum. So we could say we're solving the sum of two terms. Get it? Got it? All right, I need you to get out. Remember, this packet goes in the
6 page protector.
6 sheet page protector. And then I need you to get out your ratios, rates, and percents packet. This will be day 7 and 8. You're actually getting that extra day. You'll be working on it today, tomorrow, and we'll be reviewing it on Thursday. You're going to actually have 3 days for this. You're going to be working on it for the rest of today, tomorrow, and it's due Thursday morning. And we will review it Thursday. Get it? Got it? I want to write a few reminders. I want to write a few reminders for you on the very back page. On the very back page, you can turn to the very back or put it here. Okay, so you can put it on the very back here or here underneath 14, your choice. I'm going to put it on the very back because it's blank. I want to give you a few reminders before you work on this so you don't leave it blank. None of these should be left blank. Get it? Got it? So let's remember, and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, if it will let me. Okay, so you can be able to finish this up today and tomorrow, and whatever you don't finish tomorrow will be for what? Let's remember that ratios and rates when in doubt, table it also. Ratios can't be what? Exact. Ratios need to be simplified at times. Ratios need to be simplified at times. Remember, simplifying this numerator divided, the numerator denominator has to be divided by the same number. And if you don't want to simplify, sometimes you can just cross multiply. So you can do cross multiplication to determine if it is equivalent. Okay, and that's with ratios and rates. Okay, remember, rates money goes first. Also, per means to, with rates, per means to multiply or divide, but with rates, it means to what? Divide. Okay? If you see the word per, it means to divide if it's talking about a rates scenario. And the last thing that we're going to write down, percents. Hocus pocus.
Everybody focus.
We shouldn't be putting up anything, and we should be writing this down. Percents. Your very best friend is out of equals percent out of 100, and then you have to cross multiply to find the missing value. Get it? Got it? And another word for is could be part. Another word for of is whole. And remember, with level 3 problems, we're not writing this down, but I'm just going to say it, and if you want to write it down, you can. Level 3 problems are asking for what it doesn't tell you. So remember, when in doubt, table it out. That's usually with ratios. It's asking for what it doesn't tell you, so you have to table it out. You have to see, remember, ratios. I'm coming back up to the top. Remember, ratios have a part, and whole. And that's what a lot of people forget. That's how you set up your table sometimes. And usually, make it a level 3, they ask you about the whole, and you have to add your parts. Or they ask you for a part, and you have to subtract your whole minus your part. Get it? Got it? Okay, so those are some reminders before you start working on this packet. You shouldn't be skipping anything because everybody does really good in here with ratios and rates. Percents we did struggle with a little bit for benchmark 2, but y'all did better on it for benchmark 3. So this is y'all's higher area as a grade. Okay, should not be skipping anything. There's a bunch of percent practice, ratio and rates practice. Do your best. Do not skip and work out everything. Get it? Got it? You're working on this for the rest of today. And when we come back from lunch, you have 15 minutes while we go to the bathroom to work on it. You're working on it tomorrow, Miss Reno or Miss Case. And whatever you do not finish, it's for what?
Homework.
All right, so everybody, please get busy. Everybody quietly say bye.